Hello everyone, and welcome back to another video on the USA Legacy Spotlight channel. Over the past 24 hours, we've received the heartbreaking news of several extraordinary talents passing away. In today's episode, we dedicate this time to honor their memories and celebrate the legacies they leave behind. Before we begin, we kindly ask for your support. If this video or these remarkable individuals have touched your life, please give it a like as a sign of respect. Thank you. Ron Howard, 1954, to present. Ron Howard, born on March 1, 1954 in Duncan, Oklahoma, is a highly respected American director, producer, and actor whose work spans across decades and genres. From his early fame as a child star to his mature work as a filmmaker, Howard has consistently demonstrated a talent for storytelling that resonates with wide audiences. Raised in a creative family, his father, Rance Howard, was an actor and writer, and his mother, Jean Spiegel Howard, an actress. Ron began his career in entertainment at the age of 5. He first gained national attention as Opie Taylor on The Andy Griffith Show, 1960 to 1968. Where his natural performance endeared him to American households. In the 1970s, he starred as Richie Cunningham in the hit sitcom Happy Days, further cementing his place in pop culture. While acting brought him recognition, Howard's true passion was behind the camera. He attended the University of Southern California's School of Cinematic Arts briefly before transitioning into directing. His early directing work included Grand Theft Auto, 1977, which he co-wrote and directed while still acting. Howard's breakthrough as a director came in the 1980s with the success of Splash, 1984, a romantic comedy that introduced audiences to his distinctive mix of humor, heart, and fantasy. He followed it up with Cocoon, 1985, which won 2 Academy Awards. Throughout the 1990s and 2000s, Howard's reputation as a top-tier director grew with hits like Apollo 13, 1995, A Beautiful Mind, 2001, and Cinderella Man, 2005. A Beautiful Mind won 4 Academy Awards, including Best Picture and Best Director for Howard. The film showcased Howard's ability to humanize complex stories, combining emotional depth with cinematic flair. He later directed The Da Vinci Code, 2006, and its sequels, bringing blockbuster thrillers to a global stage. In 2008, Howard co-founded Imagine Entertainment with producer Brian Grazer. Under this banner, the pair produced award-winning films and television shows such as Arrested Development, Friday Night Lights, and Frost Nixon 2008. Imagine became known for backing innovative storytelling across genres. Howard is also noted for his versatility. He directed the documentary Pavarotti, 2019, the Beatles-centered docuseries The Beatles 8 Days a Week, 2016, and the historical film 13 Lives, 2022, about the Thai cave rescue, continuing his trend of exploring real-life stories. Beyond his artistic achievements, Howard is admired for his humility, collaborative spirit, and unwavering professionalism. He has earned numerous accolades, including 2 Academy Awards, 4 Emmy Awards, and a Golden Globe. He also received a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame and was inducted into the Television Hall of Fame. In recent years, Howard has remained active in both film and television, mentoring new filmmakers and championing diverse voices in cinema. Despite his fame, he maintains a low-key public persona and is known for his dedication to family and craft. Ron Howard's journey from child actor to Oscar-winning director is a testament to lifelong dedication and evolution in the arts. His influence spans generations, and his work continues to inspire both audiences and creators in the ever-changing landscape of film and television. Freddie Aguilar, 1953 to 2025. Freddie Aguilar, born Ferdinand Pascual Aguilar on February 5, 1953, in Santo Tomas, Isabela, Philippines, was a legendary Filipino folk musician and political voice whose music resonated across generations and cultures. Known most famously for his song Anak, Aguilar became a symbol of Filipino identity, social justice, and global solidarity through music. Raised in a musically inclined family, Aguilar began playing guitar at the age of 9. Though he briefly pursued electrical engineering in college, his passion for music led him to leave school and begin performing in local venues. Deeply inspired by Filipino culture and the struggles of everyday people, he crafted songs that reflected real-life experiences, often focusing on themes of family, poverty, justice, and nationalism. In 1977, Aguilar released Anak, meaning child, a deeply emotional song he wrote about his regret over disappointing his parents. The song's simple melody and heartfelt lyrics struck a chord not only in the Philippines, but worldwide. It became an international sensation, translated into over 24 languages and selling over 30 million copies globally, making it one of the most successful songs by an Asian artist in history. Following the success of Anak, Aguilar continued to create music that addressed societal issues. During the martial law era under Ferdinand Marcos, his songs became rallying cries for democratic reform and youth empowerment. His rendition of the Philippine national anthem during political rallies gained notoriety for its boldness, and he became closely associated with the 1986 People Power Revolution. Throughout his career, Aguilar released numerous albums that featured a fusion of folk, rock, and traditional Filipino styles. Songs like Mindanao, Bayan Ko, and Magdalena spoke of injustice, love for country, and compassion for marginalized communities. Unlike many pop artists of his era, Aguilar maintained his dedication to addressing real social issues in his work. In recognition of his contributions, Aguilar received numerous awards, including the Awit Awards and local honors acknowledging his role in promoting Filipino culture. He also performed at various international events representing the Philippines and showcasing the unique power of Filipino music at global audiences. Later in life, Aguilar remained an outspoken cultural figure. He entered politics briefly and opened venues that promoted traditional music and up-and-coming local artists. Though he stirred controversy with his political stances in later years, his role as a cultural and musical icon remained unquestioned. Aguilar passed away on May 27, 2025, at the age of 72 due to complications from multiple organ failure. His death was mourned across the Philippines and by Filipino communities worldwide. Tributes poured in from musicians, politicians, activists, and fans, many of whom credited him with awakening their social consciousness through music. Freddie Aguilar's legacy lies in his fearless use of music as a platform for truth-telling, national pride, and emotional healing. His songs continue to be taught in schools, sung at rallies, and played in homes, reminders of a man who used his voice not just to entertain, but to enlighten and empower. Gale, 1963 to 2025. Gale, born on August 23, 1963, in Plainwell, Michigan, was a pioneering American actor, best known for his physically demanding and character-rich portrayals, particularly in genre-defining cult classics. Standing at just 3 feet 4 inches due to dwarfism, Gale carved out a legendary space in Hollywood, not through stature, but through immense talent and presence. From an early age, Gale showed a remarkable interest in performance and storytelling. After graduating high school in Michigan, he moved to California to pursue a career in film. His big break came with the 1986 film Howard the Duck, where he portrayed the title character. Despite the film's mixed critical reception, Gale's physical performance was widely respected for its dedication and expressiveness under complex costuming and demanding conditions. His most iconic contribution came in 1988 when he portrayed Chucky, the menacing doll in Child's Play. While Brad Dourif voiced the character, Gale's physical acting as Chucky brought the horror icon to life in a way that terrified and thrilled audiences. He reprised his role in several sequels, helping to cement Chucky as a fixture of horror pop culture. Gale's talent extended well beyond horror. He appeared in comedic roles in Spaceballs, 1987, and My Name is Earl, drama series such as Walker, Texas Ranger, and family films like The Polar Express. In each, Gale brought emotional depth and physical commitment that often defied expectations of his roles. Directors and co-stars frequently praised his professionalism, sense of humor, and courage. Outside of film, Gale became an advocate for actors with disabilities. He was actively involved with the Little People of America organization, mentoring younger performers and lobbying for more inclusive casting practices. Gale often spoke candidly about the challenges and stereotypes he faced in the industry, and his presence on screen helped humanize and destigmatize dwarfism for audiences around the world. Gale was also a fixture at pop culture conventions and fan expos. He deeply appreciated his fan base and was known for his kind and open-hearted demeanor with admirers. He forged lasting friendships with fans, often remembering them by name and sharing behind-the-scenes stories that further enriched his legacy. Despite ongoing health issues in his later years, Gale remained active in public life, engaging with fans online and continuing to voice his support for actors from marginalized communities. His contributions went beyond performance. They were about transformation of characters, of public perceptions, and of the entertainment landscape. On May 27, 2025, Ed Gale passed away at the age of 61. While the cause of death was not publicly detailed, it followed years of health complications. His death brought an outpouring of emotion from fans, co-stars, and industry professionals alike. Gale's legacy is one of bravery and brilliance, an actor who transcended physical limitations with towering artistic spirit. His work endures in the hearts of genre fans, the horror and fantasy genres he helped shape, and the inclusive paths he helped open in Hollywood. Peter Kwong, 1952 to 2025. Peter Kwong, born on April 9, 1952 in Los Angeles, California, was a multifaceted American actor, martial artist, and social activist. Best known for his roles in action and science fiction films of the 1980s, Kwong's career was defined not only by his on-screen presence, but also by his off-screen dedication to fighting stereotypes and advocating for Asian American representation in media. Raised in a traditional Chinese-American household, Kwong grew up acutely aware of the limited and often caricatured portrayals of Asians in Hollywood. He pursued higher education at California State University, Los Angeles, where he studied theater and began to refine his passion for storytelling. Alongside his acting ambitions, Kwong also trained in martial arts, particularly Tai Chi and Kung Fu, which would later serve him well in action roles. Kwong's breakthrough role came in 1986 when he played Rain, one of the mystical martial arts warriors in John Carpenter's cult classic Big Trouble in Little China. His performance was widely praised for bringing nuance and charisma to a role that could have easily been forgettable. The film's blend of fantasy, action, and East meets West themes helped launch Kwong into the public eye, earning him a lasting fan base. Throughout the 1980s and 1990s, Kwong appeared in numerous television shows and films, including The Golden Child, China Cry, General Hospital, Tour of Duty, MacGyver, and The Young and the Restless. He often played characters that required physical prowess as well as emotional range. He also did extensive voiceover work for animated series and dubbed foreign language films, further broadening his artistic reach. Beyond the screen, Kwong was a fierce advocate for diversity and equity in the entertainment industry. He was actively involved with SAG-AFTRA, using his platform to challenge typecasting and to encourage the inclusion of Asian American narratives in mainstream media. He conducted workshops for aspiring Asian American actors and participated in university lectures, film panels, and civil rights discussions. Kwong was also deeply engaged with his community. He volunteered for youth mentorship programs and frequently performed at cultural festivals, blending entertainment with education about Chinese heritage. In private, he was known for his humility, sharp intellect, and unwavering belief that media could be a force for positive social change. In his later years, Kwong continued to act while also writing and producing independent projects that celebrated multiculturalism. He received accolades from Asian American arts organizations and advocacy groups for his lifelong commitment to fair representation. Peter Kwong passed away peacefully on May 27, 2025, at the age of 73. His death was met with an outpouring of grief and respect from fans, colleagues, and civil rights advocates. Tributes described him as a pioneer, a gentleman, and a mentor who made the path easier for those who followed. His legacy endures not only in the films and shows he graced, but also in the lives of those he inspired. actors who now play roles he once could only dream of, and audiences who see themselves more clearly because of his trailblazing work. Peter Kwong helped reimagine what it meant to be Asian American in Hollywood and beyond. Susann McDonald, 1935 to 2025. Susann McDonald, born on May 26, 1935 in Rock Island, Illinois, was an American harpist whose artistry and educational leadership reshaped the world of classical harp music. Known as one of the finest harp pedagogues in the world, McDonald's lifelong contributions expanded the instrument's global profile and inspired generations of musicians. Raised in a musically inclined family, McDonald displayed remarkable talent from an early age. She began her harp studies in childhood and quickly distinguished herself through her dedication and discipline. As a teenager, she moved to Paris, where she trained under the legendary Henriette Renier, one of the 20th century's most influential harpists. At age 20, McDonald became the first American to earn the Premier Prix in harp from the Paris Conservatory, a historic achievement that catapulted her into international recognition. Returning to the United States, McDonald balanced a vibrant performance career with a passionate dedication to teaching. She performed with top-tier orchestras, including the New York Philharmonic, and gave recitals across North America and Europe. Her technical mastery and expressive style earned her acclaim not only from audiences, but from peers who regarded her as a standard-bearer for the instrument. McDonald's most lasting contributions, however, came through her work in music education. She taught at several prestigious institutions, including the Juilliard School and the University of Arizona. Most notably, she became chair of the harp department at Indiana University's Jacobs School of Music, a position she held for more than 3 decades. There, she mentored hundreds of students, many of whom went on to become leading performers and educators themselves. Recognizing the need for a global platform to celebrate harp excellence, McDonald founded the USA International Harp Competition in 1989. Held every 3 years in Bloomington, Indiana, the competition has grown into one of the world's most respected events for harpists. It not only showcases talent, but helps launch professional careers and commissions new works for the harp, thereby enriching its repertoire. In addition to teaching and performing, McDonald was a prolific editor and arranger of harp literature. Her published works are now essential study materials in conservatories worldwide. She also co-authored harp method books that became foundational texts for students of all levels. Despite her immense influence, McDonald remained humble and deeply devoted to her art. She was known for her patient and compassionate teaching style, emphasizing musicality, discipline, and the importance of interpreting each piece with emotional integrity. Her studio became a place where technical rigor met artistic inspiration. McDonald passed away on May 29, 2025, at the age of 90. Her death marked the end of an era in classical music, but her influence endures in every harp studio, recital hall, and competition stage around the globe. Tributes poured in from former students, major orchestras, music critics, and fellow educators, each reflecting on how her work shaped the trajectory of harp performance and pedagogy. She leaves behind a towering legacy of musical excellence, innovation, and mentorship. Through her recordings, students, and the international competition she founded, Susann McDonald's voice continues to echo from every corner of the harp world. Loretta Swit, 1937 to 2025. Loretta Swit, born on November 4, 1937 in Passaic, New Jersey, was a trailblazing actress and animal rights activist best known for her role as Major Margaret Hot Lips Houlihan in the groundbreaking television series MASH. Her career in advocacy redefined television roles for women and left a lasting mark on American entertainment. Swit's upbringing in a working-class Polish-American family instilled a deep sense of resilience and discipline. She studied acting at the American Academy of Dramatic Arts in New York City and began her career on stage, appearing in regional theater and Broadway productions. Her television debut came in the late 1960s, leading to numerous guest roles in shows like Gunsmoke, Mission Impossible, and Hawaii Five-0. In 1972, Swit landed her most iconic role in MASH, a satirical dramedy set during the Korean War. Originally written as a one-dimensional caricature, the character of Major Houlihan evolved into a complex, career-driven woman, thanks largely to Swit's passionate input. She portrayed Houlihan for the entire run of the show until its finale in 1983, which remains one of the most watched television episodes in history. Swit earned 2 Emmy Awards for her role and was nominated 10 times. Off-screen, Loretta Swit was known for her strong advocacy of animal rights. She worked closely with organizations such as Actors and Others for Animals and the Humane Society. She was also involved in supporting veterans, using her influence to raise awareness about post-war trauma and healthcare needs. Swit's later career included theater productions, voice acting, and public speaking. Her book, Sweetheart: The Watercolor Artistry and Animal Activism of Loretta Swit, showcases her artwork and commitment to humane causes. Loretta Swit passed away peacefully at her New York City home on May 30th, 2025, at the age of 87 due to natural causes. Her passing was widely mourned across the entertainment industry and among animal welfare advocates. Tributes poured in from former co-stars, fans, and nonprofit organizations, all recognizing her for not just her talent, but her generous spirit and determination to make the world better. Her legacy remains immortalized, not only through MASH, but through the doors she opened for actresses playing powerful, intelligent female characters in male-dominated narratives. Bruce Willis, 1955 to 2024. Bruce Willis, born Walter Bruce Willis on March 19, 1955, in Idar Oberstein, West Germany, emerged as one of Hollywood's most enduring action stars and dramatic talents. Known worldwide for his iconic role as John McClane in the Die Hard franchise, Willis's career spanned television, film, music, and production, making him a defining face of 1980s and 1990s American cinema. Willis grew up in New Jersey after his American father, a U.S. Army veteran, returned to the United States from military service in Germany. A stutter in his youth led him to acting as a form of expression, and he later studied drama at Montclair State University. After a series of odd jobs and off-Broadway performances, his charm and charisma landed him the role of Private Detective David Addison on the hit TV series Moonlighting, 1985 to 1989. Co-starring Sybil Shepherd, the show's blend of comedy, romance, and detective drama. Ina Hartman. Ina Hartman was a trailblazing American actress who made significant strides in the entertainment industry during the 1960s and 1970s, particularly as one of the first black women to secure recurring television roles at a time when representation was limited. Known for her elegance, strength, and charisma, Hartman helped pave the way for generations of African-American actresses in film and television. Born in 1935 in Oklahoma, Hartman moved to California to pursue a career in entertainment. Her natural screen presence and poise earned her early roles in television during a transformative period in American media. In 1965, she made headlines when she was cast as a regular in the NBC science fiction series The Man from UNCLE, becoming one of the first black actresses to appear prominently in a recurring network TV role. Her most recognized appearances were in popular shows such as Perry Mason, Ben Casey, I Spy, Ironside, Get Smart, and Mission Impossible. These roles, although often supporting, were significant at the time because they challenged the prevailing norms of casting, showcasing a talented black woman in sophisticated, often authoritative roles. Hartman was often typecast in roles that emphasized her beauty and intelligence, secretaries, assistants, professionals, but she imbued each performance with a dignity and realism that helped dismantle stereotypes. As a result, she became a respected figure among progressive voices in Hollywood, advocating for civil rights and equitable representation. In 1969, Hartman was honored as the Mayor of Universal City, a promotional role intended to spotlight actors affiliated with Universal Studios. Although largely symbolic, the title brought her increased attention and further established her visibility within the studio system and among the public. While her acting career slowed in the 1980s, Hartman continued to be a vocal advocate for diversity in entertainment. She participated in industry panels and was active in organizations supporting minority artists. Hartman also mentored younger actors, particularly women of color, seeking to enter the industry under more equitable circumstances. Hartman kept a relatively low profile in her later years, focusing on community work and occasionally making public appearances at events honoring pioneers of African American television. Her legacy was later revisited in documentaries and retrospectives that highlighted her early work and its role in reshaping perceptions of race and gender on screen. Anna Hartman passed away in 2023 at the age of 88. Her passing was met with tributes from historians, colleagues, and fans who remembered her grace, determination, and groundbreaking impact. Though not always given the spotlight she deserved, Hartman's contribution to television history is indisputable. Today, she is remembered as a quiet revolutionary, a woman who challenged an exclusionary system by simply showing up and shining in roles that had rarely been offered to women who looked like her. Through talent, perseverance, and poise, Ina Hartman helped open doors that remain open for others. Gerard Kennedy. Gerard Kennedy is a celebrated Australian actor whose commanding performances and versatile roles have made him a household name in his native country. Known for his deep voice, sharp features, and commitment to character, Kennedy became a defining figure in Australian television drama from the late 1960s through the 1980s, and remains an admired figure in the nation's entertainment history. Born on March 8, 1932 in Perth, Western Australia, Kennedy began his career in the 1950s and 60s with minor television and stage roles. His breakout came with the police procedural Homicide, one of Australia's earliest and most influential TV dramas. He portrayed Detective Frank Banner with intensity and moral complexity, which helped propel the series to the top of the ratings. However, Kennedy's signature role came in the series Division 4, 1969 to 1975, where he starred as Senior Detective Frank Banner, a different character from Homicide. His portrayal earned him 2 consecutive Gold Logie Awards, Australia's highest TV honor, in 1970 and 1971 for Most Popular Personality on Australian television. His combination of charisma and authenticity made him a beloved figure with viewers across the country. Following Division 4, Kennedy continued his career with a variety of character-driven performances. He appeared in numerous hit Australian series such as Tandara, The Flying Doctors, Prisoner, Blue Heelers, Neighbours, and Underbelly. He was known for portraying complex figures, often with a tough exterior hiding emotional vulnerability. Kennedy also worked in film, appearing in Australian cinema classics like The Man from Snowy River 2, 1988, and Sky Pirates, 1986, showcasing his ability to shift between television and film without losing his signature style. Though primarily known for his work in Australia, his performances earned international appreciation among audiences and critics who followed global television. In addition to his acting career, Kennedy served as a mentor to younger Australian actors and remained involved with the arts through theater and television well into his later years. He became a living connection to the golden age of Australian drama and was often interviewed and honored at film and television retrospectives. Gerard Kennedy passed away on January 17, 2024, at the age of 91. His death was met with widespread tribute from the Australian entertainment industry. Actors, directors, and fans remembered him not just for his iconic roles, but for his professionalism, humility, and enduring influence. His career, spanning more than 5 decades, helped shape the character of Australian television. Kennedy was a performer who embodied strength, moral integrity, and emotional depth, a rare combination that left a permanent mark on audiences and helped raise the bar for dramatic storytelling in Australian media. George Coulomb. George Coulomb, affectionately known as King George, is the founder of the Texas Renaissance Festival, TRF, the largest Renaissance fair in the United States. His visionary leadership transformed a wooded area in Todd Mission, Texas, into a sprawling, immersive celebration of Elizabethan history, culture, and entertainment that attracts hundreds of thousands of visitors annually. Born in the 1930s in the United States, exact date and location not widely published, Coulomb had a background in art and event planning. In the early 1970s, inspired by the success of Renaissance fairs in California and his own passion for historical reenactment and pageantry, he envisioned a similar event in Texas. In 1974, that vision became reality when he opened the Texas Renaissance Festival on 15 acres of land. Coulomb's festival quickly gained popularity due to its attention to detail. theatrical flair, and welcoming environment. Under his stewardship, TRF expanded to over 50 acres, featuring more than 200 daily performances, hundreds of costumed actors, and an elaborate setting with themed villages, stages, jousting arenas, artisan booths, and unique dining experiences. Coulomb himself often walked the grounds in costume, embodying the role of the monarch in the festival's fictional village of Newmarket. What set Coulomb's leadership apart was his commitment to authenticity blended with entertainment. He encouraged immersive storytelling, diverse programming, and the involvement of local artists and performers. The fair became a seasonal institution, contributing significantly to the local economy and fostering a strong subculture of artisans, musicians, and historical enthusiasts. Over the years, Coulomb also became known for his eccentricity and unique personality. He lived on the fairgrounds in a custom-built castle-style home and maintained hands-on involvement in nearly every aspect of festival planning. Though sometimes controversial in management style, he remained a central figure beloved by many in the TRF community. Beyond his contributions to the Renaissance Fair movement, Coulomb also dabbled in sculpture and writing, and has been profiled in documentaries and news features, highlighting his unconventional lifestyle and artistic philosophy. He emphasized personal freedom, creative expression, and living life with theatrical grandeur. As of the latest updates, George Coulomb remains a living legend. Though he has stepped back from day-to-day operations, his influence continues to shape the Texas Renaissance Festival's growth and enduring appeal. The festival remains a benchmark for similar events across the country, with many crediting Coulomb's originality and determination for the success of the entire Renaissance Fair industry in America. George Coulomb's legacy lives in the joy of festival goers, the flourishing careers of artisans he helped launch, and in the dream that history, art, and fantasy can thrive together in the modern world. Michael Sumler. Michael Sumler is an American singer and stage performer recognized for his electrifying presence and emotive delivery on stage. While not a mainstream household name, Sumler has developed a loyal fan base across the United States and beyond, thanks to his powerful vocals, dynamic energy, and heartfelt interpretations of soul, gospel, and R&B music. Born in the southern United States, exact date and place remain largely undocumented in public archives. Sumler was raised in a musical environment deeply rooted in gospel traditions. From an early age, he sang in church choirs, where he developed a deep appreciation for spiritually uplifting and emotionally charged performances. This foundation in gospel music informed his style throughout his professional career. As a young man, Sumler began performing at local talent shows and community events, eventually catching the attention of regional producers and stage directors. He transitioned to performing with traveling musical groups and appeared in touring gospel plays, which gained popularity particularly among African American audiences in the 1990s and early 2000s. One of his most notable roles came through theater productions produced by popular faith-based entertainment companies. Sumler often played emotionally resonant roles, fathers, ministers, or troubled but redemptive characters, that allowed him to showcase both his vocal and dramatic talents. Audiences were often moved by his ability to fuse acting with music, and his reputation for bringing authenticity to every performance earned him critical praise in regional theater circuits. In addition to theater, Sumler recorded a number of independent gospel and R&B albums. Though they did not achieve commercial chart success, his recordings found strong support within niche music communities. His voice, marked by a rich, expressive timbre and impressive range, drew comparisons to soul legends like Donny Hathaway and Marvin Gaye. Sumler also worked as a vocal coach and mentor to younger singers, particularly those coming from underserved communities. He was frequently invited to conduct workshops at churches, schools, and music festivals, where he emphasized the importance of self-expression, spiritual grounding, and technical skill. Despite his extensive work, Sumler largely maintained a private personal life. He shied away from major commercial music labels and television appearances, focusing instead on connecting with live audiences in more intimate venues. For him, music was a ministry as much as a profession, a way to heal, uplift, and bring people together. As of the most recent reports, Michael Sumler remains alive and occasionally active in performance and mentorship. While not widely covered by mainstream media, his contributions to American musical theater and gospel performance are widely respected within artistic communities that value heartfelt storytelling and musical authenticity. His career reminds us that impact is not always measured by fame or fortune. In every heartfelt note sung and every soul stirred in the audience, Michael Sumler has left his mark as a true artist whose passion has touched lives across generations. Don Combs, 1938/1939 to 2025. Don Combs was an American thoroughbred racehorse trainer, best known for his early career triumph in training Dust Commander, the winner of the 1970 Kentucky Derby. Born around 1938 or 1939 in Kentucky, Combs rose to national prominence at a young age and became a figure of interest in American horse racing for his insight, intuition, and understated confidence in developing championship-caliber horses. Raised in the heart of horse country, Combs was immersed in the equestrian world from an early age. He began working in stables during his teenage years, gaining hands-on experience that honed his knowledge of thoroughbred behavior, health, and conditioning. By the time he was in his early 30s, Combs had developed a reputation as a gifted young trainer. In 1970, he gained widespread fame when Dust Commander, a relatively unknown horse, captured the nation's attention by winning the Kentucky Derby. Under Combs' guidance, Dust Commander overcame long odds to win decisively at Churchill Downs. The victory was a career-defining moment for Combs and placed him in the upper ranks of American horse trainers overnight. What made the win particularly noteworthy was Combs' youth. He was just 31 at the time, and the disciplined yet sensitive approach he used in handling Dust Commander. The win was not only a tribute to the horse's talent, but also to Combs' patient, methodical training philosophy. That year, Dust Commander also won the Bluegrass Stakes and placed well in several other major races, earning significant attention for both horse and trainer. Despite his early success, Combs stepped back from the limelight soon after. He continued to work within the horse racing community, but avoided the media attention and pressures of high-stakes racing. This low-profile path was consistent with Combs' reserved personality. He valued the horses in the craft more than the public accolades. Over the years, he mentored younger trainers and served as a trusted advisor to horse owners. His knowledge of breeding, race preparation, and equine care made him a valued voice behind the scenes. While he didn't chase further Derby wins, his early achievement remained an inspiring example of talent meeting opportunity in the racing world. Don Combs passed away on May 25, 2025, at the age of 86 in Lexington, Kentucky. The cause of death was complications following a stroke. News of his death prompted tributes from within the racing community, remembering him as a quiet legend whose early accomplishment inspired generations of horsemen. His name lives on in the lore of the Kentucky Derby and in the legacy of Dust Commander, whose unlikely win stands among the most memorable in the race's long history. Though Combs preferred privacy and humility, his brief but brilliant moment in the national spotlight has ensured him a lasting place in horse racing history. Hoedeman, 1940 to 2025. Hoedeman, born August 1, 1940, in Amsterdam, Netherlands, was a pioneering Dutch-Canadian animator, best known for his groundbreaking work in stop-motion animation. With a career spanning more than 5 decades, Hoedeman became one of the National Film Board of Canada's NFB most innovative and beloved artists, blending creativity, technical mastery, and cross-cultural storytelling. Hoedeman studied at the Netherlands Film Academy before immigrating to Canada in 1965. He soon joined the NFB in Montreal, where he would build his lifelong career. Initially trained in traditional animation techniques, Hoedeman became intrigued by alternative methods, particularly puppet and object animation. His experiments helped redefine what animation could be, moving beyond cartoons into a more poetic and tactile form of expression. His early work included short films that explored themes of childhood, nature, and communication. But it was his 1977 masterpiece, The Sand Castle, that earned him international recognition. The film, crafted entirely using sand and foam puppet animation, won the Academy Award for Best Animated Short Film. It showcased Hoedeman's meticulous attention to detail and his ability to tell profound stories with minimalist materials. Following this success, Hoedeman continued to explore global storytelling with projects that emphasized multiculturalism, such as Cho-Cho, 1972, Ludovic, The Snow Gift, 1998, and The Garden of Icos. His series Ludovic, featuring a young teddy bear, was particularly acclaimed for its gentle storytelling and emotional depth, resonating with children and adults alike. Hoedeman was known not only for his films, but also for his mentorship and contribution to the Canadian animation scene. He collaborated with young animators and pushed for the use of sustainable, environmentally friendly materials in animation production. His work often celebrated simplicity and emphasized the power of visual narrative without reliance on dialogue. He received numerous awards throughout his career, including honors from Annecy International Animated Film Festival, Ottawa International Animation Festival, and Genie Awards. He was also the recipient of Canada's Governor-General's Performing Arts Award for Lifetime Artistic Achievement in 2005. In the latter part of his career, Hoedeman focused on community projects and educational initiatives. He remained active in film circles, mentoring emerging talent, and working on independent films that continued to reflect his humanist vision. His work was also the subject of retrospectives and academic studies exploring animation as a form of art and cultural commentary. Hoedeman passed away on May 26, 2025, in Montreal, Quebec, at the age of 84. His death was mourned deeply in both Canadian and global film communities. Tributes highlighted his unique artistic vision, gentle spirit, and lifelong commitment to the poetic possibilities of animation. Through his handcrafted characters and imaginative worlds, Hoedeman reminded audiences that animation could convey complex emotions and cross linguistic and cultural boundaries. His legacy endures in the textured frames of his films and in the many artists he inspired to view animation not just as entertainment, but as a powerful medium for empathy, wonder, and transformation.